Yeah, Justin Fields is going to be in the MVP conversation this season. Greeny, I said that last year and everyone mocked it. I remember everyone talking about Josh. I think his last 11 games of his second season, he went for like 18 touchdowns and 3 picks. And you saw, it's starting to take off. That's what this season should look like from start to finish for Justin Fields. I'll say it again. He is going to be in the MVP conversation this year because he finally has the right people around him to allow his talents to excel.
So there's big news on Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields. What a couple of days he's had. First, he goes back to Ohio State University, the Ohio State University, and gets his degree. Then, the next day, he's featured on ESPN, where Dan Orlovsky is calling him an MVP candidate for the 2023 season. We all know that obviously Chicago is going all in with Justin Fields, and they're surrounding him with a massive talent, especially with an offensive line to protect him. So if you haven't heard the news about Justin Fields getting his degree, it was featured on ESPN. Let's take a look at that story. Here on ESPN, it says Bears quarterback Justin Fields earns his degree from Ohio State. And as we get down here, it says Justin Fields had a memorable Sunday off the field. The Chicago Bears quarterback took part in his graduation ceremonies at Ohio State, earning his degree in Consumer and Family Financial Services. Standing O. I will always applaud an athlete that goes back and gets his degree. Later on in the article, it shows that the Chicago Bears applauded him as well. Congrats, that's our quarterback. And there you see Justin Fields in his full adornment, getting his degree from Ohio State. And then after all that ceremony, then he wakes up the next day and hears Dan Orlovsky say this.
Yeah, Justin Fields is going to be in the MVP conversation this season. Greeny, I said that last year and everyone mocked it. Okay, so just to remind everybody at home, the Chicago Bears had the #1 pick. Okay, they were terrible last year. The only reason that they were actually in games because of Justin Fields. Fast forward to this year, their general manager Ryan Poles has done a couple things. Number one, this offensive line has gone from weakness to potential strength. The addition of Darnell Wright, Nate Davis they brought over in free agency. Tevin Jenkins kicks inside. Number two, DJ Moore. There's finally some decent talent on the outside that he's going to have the chance to throw to. And then three, the growth that he is going to have. Everyone continues to say follow the Jalen Hurts model for the style. No. Justin Fields' season should look a lot like what Josh Allen's second season did that last half. I remember everyone talking about Josh. I think his last 11 games of his second season, he went for like 18 touchdowns and 3 picks. And you saw, it's starting to take off. That's what this season should look like from start to finish for Justin Fields. I'll say it again. He is going to be in the MVP conversation this year because he finally has the right people around him to allow his talents to excel. They've got some Braxton Jones who they draft. That's a good front. Cole Kmet. So his starting 3 receivers this year are DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, and Darnell Mooney. Yeah. Darnell Mooney was his number 1 receiver last year.
Totally.
He's now his number 3. So we're watching an offense that traditionally, this is the Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Gary Kubiak offense that Luke Getsy their play call runs. It traditionally props quarterbacks up a little bit. That's just the way it is, okay? So we now have an offense that does that has this incredible athlete that is going to even elevate the offense. That doesn't happen a lot in this scheme.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think his athleticism allows him to expand it a little bit. The last thing I'd say about this situation is this. Justin has to get the ball out of his hands quicker physically, not mentally.
Yeah, that's what I was
physically,
gonna say.
the long release, and you can see it on the internet. It's getting tightened a little bit. If that does happen, MVP level football.
That, what you just said right there, to me, is the crux of the whole thing. Because they've elevated the skill players around Justin. They brought in guys who are going to get open quickly.
Right.
He has to throw with anticipation. He's got to get that ball out. And this was a thing that was an issue in college as well. To me, that's the single most important thing for Fields to make the sort of leap that you're describing.
Well, you guys talk about all the great things that could take place on the field for Justin Fields. Off the field, thriving as well. As congrats are in order for Justin Fields. He graduated from Ohio State over the weekend. Significant congrats to Fields, who, of course, left Ohio State a year early to declare for the 2021 NFL Draft.
I think every Chicago Bears fan and every Justin Fields fan has to applaud the young man, and they have to applaud what the Chicago Bears are doing to make Justin Fields a success at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Let me know what you think about Justin going back and getting his degree. And do you really think he's an MVP candidate for the Chicago Bears this season in the NFL? Talk to you soon.